Okay, Brad Chestnut here, developer of the Offline Marketer CMS system and the Offline List Management system. And in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of kill a couple birds with one stone. First of all, I'm going to show you about importing the list of names from the different exported files into the Offline Marketer system. I'm going to show you how fast it is on top of that, and you're going to see the steps to do it. Very, very, very simple. The other thing I've done is I've got a clock down here. So I put my clock down here so you can see the time, and we'll start when it's right on the minutes to see how long it takes to do all this. Now let me show you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be importing from Instant Business Finder, and in this database, in this list, this CSV file, actually I've got this one as an XLS file. It's going to, there's 2,125 records. Let's pull these over here and let me show you, just so you can see, 2,125 records. And we'll scroll up the top and we'll see that you get all sorts of different things in here. You got abuse treatment, alternative medicine, auto repair, beauty salons, care providers, cleaning services, fitness, furniture, heating, air conditioning, plumbing, lawn and garden, locksmith, pool, spa, tree, window treatments. What I do frequently, what I'll do is I'll combine them all into one file. So rather than doing multiple imports, if I'm scraping a whole bunch of stuff, I'll just copy and paste them into a master, if you will. And then I just import them all at the same time. Boom. Let's see. Okay, so we've got that for IBF. And then pages, we have one with another 3,061 records. Let's go over here and take a look at what we got over there. Alright, let's see, we got abuse treatment, alternative medicine. I've done a lot of duplicate records purposely because each of the different scraping programs pull different information. Some pull more information, some pull less information. And the other thing I'm really after is email addresses. Some are better at pulling email addresses, and it just gives me a well-rounded group. And you can see what I'm looking at here. You know, there's a whole bunch of different records. Some duplicates, some new stuff. And you can see, you know, plumbing, heating, and you know, rental, repairing services, tree services, window treatment, so on and so forth. Okay, and you can see at the very bottom here we've got 3,061 records. All right, now let's go take a look at the last one here. We're going to do, so we're going to do IBF. We're going to do Super Pages. Actually, we got a couple we're going to do. We're going to do Maps. There's 872 records in it, and then pages, and there's 63 in it. Okay, so that's what we're going to be importing. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the clock here to hit, you know, right on the money, and then I'm going to start going through here and fixing all my Excel, my files, and preparing them for import. And you know, I think you're going to be pretty impressed with how quickly this thing is and how easy it is to import the records. You know, these are, like I said, I pulled them from a lot of these from PowerLease Pro. PLP is PowerLease Pro. IBF is Instant Business Finder. PowerLease Pro allows me, and I'm just going to show you over here because I've actually got a routine going right now. I guess I can. I got Yellow Pages here, Yahoo Loco, Yahoo Super Pages People. I don't ever use that one. Super Pages, and then of course Google Maps. So I use Google Maps, Super Pages, and Yellow Pages. Those are the three that I use pretty consistently, and you know, and it simply builds the information. When it's done, I'll have information. That's another one I'm going to be doing here shortly. So anyway, so this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be kind of cool to watch this whole thing and to time the whole thing. So we're coming up in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, we're going to start the process. And I'm going to kind of move my screen a little bit here, so you're not going to see everything I'm doing because I need to give myself the room to do this. I'm going to move this over here a little bit here so I can see what I'm doing. And we're just going to down the list here. We'll just go right here in this and just work right down my list. So we've got, all right, here we go. We're getting ready, and we're gonna go 3, 2, 1. We're on. All right, so what I'm gonna do is come over here, and this needs to be called import, and I'm gonna go File, Save As, and I'm gonna change this to import 2003. Write it, boom, one down. And then I'm going to go over here to Super, take my master, change this to import, do a file, save as. My file type needs to be XLS. Import 2003. Another one done. Not bad. Super pages. I got a master here. This one I adjusted the. Let's go down here and change this first. Import file, save as. XLS. Yes. Another one ready to go. Pages. Import file, save as. This one's already an XLS file. I already saved it as such. But list, you can see how quickly this thing goes along. And that was it. So I got super pages. Boom. Alright, so we'll minimize this one because I don't need it anymore. And we'll come over here to List Manager, my import menus, and I'm just going to go right down my list here. IBF's already done. IBF 2003. You see right down here, 2000 records, close. I'm going to view it real quickly. Everything looks good. Cool. And then I'm going to go copy over to the folder. Okay. Okay. Update all. Okay. Okay. Copy. Okay. Done. And we're going to go Google Places. Zip. 871 records. You can see down here. Looks good. Let me just check and make sure we have no problems. Cool. Copy temp folder. Update all. And copy. Done. And we're going to go Super Pages, 2003, 3,060 records coming in. Boom, 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 boom. We're now 2.5 minutes, a little over 2.5 minutes so far. I'm pulling it in. I'm going to check, just make sure. Good. Now there's more checking I do, but since we're and I'm going to make a point here, I want you just to see how fast this whole thing is. Update all. You can see my numbers down here. Done. Copy main record, main database. Done. And Yellow Pages. 63 record. Temp. Update all. Okay. All of them are imported in the system. Next thing I want to do is I want to sync them into my master. Now I would do some cleanup work on this whole thing, but I'm going to go ahead and just copy this whole thing over to my master at this point. You got to pick and choose which one of these is the most important. Like I'm teaching while I'm doing this. I've been 3 and 4 minutes now this whole thing. So let's just go ahead and start working down my list here, and I'm going to go ahead and go with you know what? Let's go Super Pages. 1060. Okay, and the reason why I only pulled in that many is because the rest of them were duplicates. I didn't do a dupe check on it, and that's the first one I pulled in. Now I'm going to go over here and start pulling in the rest. I'm going to go IBF. Ask me which record number I want to pull them in. So if I have other lists, and we're pulling in Google Places, 200, 300, 400, 500. You see my little number down here? Coming up on the 5-minute mark here. I'm halfway to my 10 minutes. We already did Super Pages, so now we're going to do Yellow Pages. And it pulled in 20 of them. Alright, now we're going to update all of them with the different email addresses, websites, and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm just going to run down my list here. $871. This is updating another area of the system. And I just run right down through this thing just because I don't worry about if it's or anything like that. Okay, and I'm going to do IBF Verify only first, then I'm going to do the Google Places one next. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to update all my records with the UBL records. There's 480,000 records in here. And what this is going to do is going to give them a first name and last name and all the pertinent information. Okay, we're almost done. Alright, done. 9/11, that took 6 minutes and about 15 seconds. 6 minutes and 15 seconds, and I imported over 5,000 records into the system. I dupe checked them, into the master. So now I've got my master database. I can go over here to my master and I can look at this. And look at this. These are all the ones that now have a first name that didn't, these were all scraped. There was no name associated to any of these scraped lists. I pulled these from my UBL list because my UBL list has the first names. And so I've got now a bunch of records that have names associated to them that they didn't have them before. There's no duplicates in this database. Everything's based upon a customer code. Your customer code is your phone number. I use the phone number to dupe check it and to manage all this stuff because it's the one thing that's unique to a business. And you're not going to make a mistake on how you put the phone number in. A lot of people make a mistake on how they put the address in. Might have a period in there that changes it. And you can see I've got all my records here going across and a ton of information in here. See there? And so what's really kind of cool is let's just go over here and let's pull up the master database now, and let's go over here to DBF specific, and let's just kind of, what I'm going to do, a query by form here real quickly, and I'm just going to come over here and I'll go like IBF is not blank, and we'll run that query, and you can see here, okay, so I've got some bad addresses in here, and I'll clean this stuff up because these are not true. This is all seasons, and remember, I'm only working with the data that was scraped. That's it. I'm only working with data that was scraped. If I didn't add any of this information into it. This is scraped data. This is how the scraping program pulled it, and and that's it. And so you can see here, for example, I've got an email address from IBF, email at 5 Mile Auto, and then Super Pages pulled in a couple that I can delete, and then of course Yellow Pages pulled in one. Each of them, I can see their ad URL, so I can go to the Google Places listing from IBF by clicking on this icon here, or I can go to their Super Pages listing or their Yellow Pages listing and maybe collect more information if I want to. But I've got all this information, and the cool thing about this is if one of these email addresses doesn't work, then I can just turn around and add another one, or use one of the other email addresses. Just delete the one that's not working where it bounced and just pull another one. But I've got them all merged together. I've got all my data merged together, and I'm ready to rock and roll now with this data. That's how cool this thing is. That's how fast this thing is. And so I've got their information. I pulled information over here. Not only did I pull their, all this other information, but look, if I merged it, I also now have the owner's name. This one did not have the number of employees and annual revenue, but I also pulled their SIC code and what their SIC code description is and all that other information as well too. And so I've pulled a lot of information from this whole thing. Here was one that had the number of employees and your annual revenue. And we come over here to database specific. It pulled IBF information, Super Pages information, all combined it into one database. You got to admit, this is powerful. This is cool, and this is how I build very effective, very powerful databases. For marketing too. Now, there were some other things I do prior to it, but this video example was to show you how fast it is to pull in that information. I pulled in over 5,000 records, probably closer to 6,000 records, and then I turn around and update them all with my UBL list, which pulled in then and added to them the first name, the last name, and other key information, so that I can do some very effective marketing. So there you have it. That's the speed and power of pulling in a lot of records into the system. I even went through and updated the CSV files properly, plus imported them into the system. There you have it.